looking out on the morning rain.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand?
I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. But Lord, love was the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman.
Be seated. Thanks to each and every one of you for being here today for this very sweet and special occasion. Today what brings us here is Gillian and Jean. We are gathered here in holy matrimony and to bear witness to the transforming power of love. Gillian and Jean, you have come here today to affirm and publicly declare the love that has already united you in spirit. True partnership is a life's work, a spiritual journey. Therefore, this is an occasion for both profound joy and great responsibility. And we who partake in it bind ourselves as witnesses to the love that Gillian and Jean are embracing here. In acknowledgement of this holy purpose and the power of this significant event, would you please join me in a prayer? Holy Spirit of life, of love, of all that is, we acknowledge thy presence this day. We come in the spirit of love. We come here in celebration of a love that is shared between two and a love that is experienced through all. May this day be a day that kindles this presence of love within every heart. And may this couple who come to stand this day feel love in a way that they know the presence of God has been here. And for this sacred opportunity, we are truly grateful and give thanks. In the name and in the nature of all that is holy, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. I'd like to invite both families, both sides of the family, to light a candle. Jean's mother had a little accident and is not able to be here today, so you're going to light one of the candles. And one of Gillian's daughters will light one of the candles. A marriage is always more than the two individuals because it's a uniting of two families. And so it is important to Gillian and Jean to really honor the uniting of the two families and to also honor those that cannot be here physically today. And so although it is their day, it is also a tribute to all of you. For knowing you and interacting with all of you has helped to make our bride and groom who they are. And that's what was needed to bring them so that they could find one another. They would like to thank you all for that, for you hold a place in their hearts for those they have chosen to call family and friends. And they're deeply grateful to each and every one of you here today. I'm going to ask you to step forward a little bit closer, up here, that way, so you can turn and the folks can see you. So let's talk a little bit about marriage. A marriage is more than two people joining together. It's the uniting of two souls who are already attuned to each other and who have found a depth of love that cannot be adequately described in words. Real love is not about total loss or absorption in one another. Rather, it's looking outward in the same direction together. Love makes burdens lighter because you divide them. Love makes joys more intense because you share them. And love makes you both stronger so you can reach out and become involved with life in ways that neither of you may have risked before or alone. True love is a spiritual perception, a sensitivity to the innate divinity within each of you. A union built on that perception is truly built on a rock. and it will lead to an acceptance of differences and the fulfillment of true love. Always seek to remember to truly see, hear, understand, and touch one another with the same spirit of love that has brought you to this day. And above all, always remember that God is your foremost partner in this relationship. When I met with Gillian and Jean, I asked both of them to write a letter to me sharing why they wanted to marry the other, what brought them together. And I asked their permission, and so they have not yet heard what each other has written. So what Jean said about Gillian, from Jean: my life changed forever on the evening of September 22nd, 2013, when I finally put my eyes on Gillian. We had connected a few weeks earlier through Match.com and had been emailing and talking on the phone. The best part of the story of us meeting is that both of us had been on Match for a while and were ready to give up. But for some reason, I guess you can call it fate, both of us decided to change our search parameters. Within just a few days, Gillian reached out to me to open up communication. At the time of our first date, I was still living in South Carolina, so I drove up to Asheville to meet her. We had a wonderful time with dinner at Salsa's and then on to some ballroom dancing, and finished the evening with a cocktail at the Bohemian before heading back to Simpsonville. I was enamored with Gillian right away, but I guess it took her a little bit longer. Over the last 3.5 years, I've come to know my true self, and Gillian allowed me to discover him, myself, and being on this journey with her is the best thing that has ever happened to me. Gillian encourages me to look within and discover the things that bring me joy and allow me to creatively express who I am. In a world where conformity is the norm, where doing things differently than others is discouraged, in the past I have lived a portion of my life according to what others expected, and creatively expressing who I am was discouraged. Gillian always supports the highest and best version of myself, and the joy that brings, it's, well, joyful. She is kind, loving, and compassionate, and has the ability to know what people need. Her smile warms my heart, and her embrace makes me feel safe. I am so proud of her and her fight against Lyme's disease. I've watched her continue to press on and not give up when she was hardly able to even get out of bed. She took it upon herself to find someone who could help her when traditional medicine was able to do so. She is my rock, my love, my best friend, and now my wife, and our souls will be forever connected. Beautiful. And Gillian to Jean wrote, firstly, I appreciate how Jean is to me, to animals, and to other people. I never hear him say harsh words, even under circumstances where most people would have explicitives popping out of their mouth. He is genuinely very kind and sweet. I love that he's a happy person. He laughs very easily and cracks corny jokes that make me laugh. I love his big smile, and he's always there for me and for others. We pass each other during the day in the house or anywhere, and we give each other smiles. He is faithful and true and honest, and I can rely on him to be his word, and he always has my happiness as a priority in his life. He's a joyful soul and an amazingly good person. He is steady and emotionally strong. He takes care of me. Here's a little bit about how we met, she writes. I had been widowed for 8 years and had been doing some online dating and was totally disillusioned by men that were out there. One lonely Saturday night, I sat down very determinedly at my computer thinking of the old cliche, the definition of insanity. So I decided to look for a younger man. I changed my radius from Asheville to include Greenville and surrounding areas, and lo and behold, Gene popped up with the most beautiful bio I had ever seen on Match.com. He was so sincere and clear about what he wanted in a partner, and he was authentic and transparent, which is something not many people on that site are able to do. I contacted him and told him that if we never met, it was okay, because he had given me the courage to be my authentic self. Well, we did meet. We met on the top of the Wall Street parking lot and went on our first date, which included a dance lesson, Mexican food, and cocktails at the Bohemian Hotel. It was an exceptional first date, but I was hesitant. I liked him, but I was very guarded about getting into a relationship with him at that point. He's a very good dancer, and that was a big plus in my eyes. Our next date was to see Diva at Minton in Asheville, and I was so thrilled to share my spiritual life with him. It was also very important to him that we were aligned spiritually. Gene was heavily involved in the Unity Church, and that became a mutual joy and involvement because it totally aligned with my beliefs. We were slow and steady, something I have never been in life, but it's Gene's motto. So here we are, 3.5 years later. Gene is my soulmate. He loves me deeply and profoundly. These are words he often writes on cards to me. He likes my family and friends, and they like him, and he has fun with our grandchildren. We fit together so well. We're together in creating a life that we love. He stays steadfast when I waver. Through him, I am a better person because he, through his being, encourages me to be more positive, to believe, and to have faith. Our spiritual life is beautifully in sync. I trust him implicitly and believe in him. I like him. He's my rock. He's also a good house buddy and is easy to live with and shares all chores with me. Wow, he's pretty amazing. I better marry this guy soon. At last.
And my lonely days are over. Yeah, life is like a song. Ooh, at last, skies above are blue. And my heart was wrapped in clover. The night that I looked at you, I found a dream that I can speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I never know. Oh, you smiled, Lord, and then the spell was cast. And here we are, here in heaven, yeah. 'Cause you are mine at last. Oh, at last, yeah.
You may be the only person whose grandson pole danced at your wedding.
I'm going to be reading an excerpt from The Art of a Good Marriage by Wilfred Arlen Peterson. A good marriage must be created. In marriage, the little things are the big things. It is never being too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say, I love you, at least once a day. It is never going to sleep angry. It is having a mutual sense of values and common objectives. It is standing together and facing the world. It is forming a circle that gathers in the whole family. It is speaking words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful ways. It is having the capacity to forgive and forget. It is giving each other an atmosphere in which each can grow. It is a common search for the good and the beautiful. It is not only marrying the right person, it is being the right partner.
Yes, beautiful. At the beginning of the ceremony, Gene, standing in for his mother who could not be here today, lit a candle for his side of the family. And Gillian's daughter, Amy, standing in for her mother who could not be here today, lit a candle representing her side of the family. Each lit a candle to represent the light that they passed down through their families. Gillian and Gene, you see before you 2 candles. I'm going to ask you to go over to the table now. Each symbolic of the uniqueness and the individuality you bring to this union of 2 souls. Within each human heart burns the spark of the divine. When 2 people love each other with devotion and freedom, they kindle the awareness of that spark in each other. The lighted candle is symbolic of the light and the truth in the human heart and mind and soul. Fire also symbolizes passion and beauty. For many, the flame means the security of home and family and the warmth of the hearth. I invite you now to pick up your individual candle. And now, as together you light the unity candle, it symbolizes your marriage, your willingness to surrender to something greater than yourselves. May the light of your marriage be a beacon in the night and a safe harbor from the storms of life. May your future be made infinitely brighter by the light and the love that you share. May this candle be a reminder of the divine flame in your partner, especially at the times it may be the hardest to see, and the times your partner may doubt or forget the existence of that light within him or herself. Abby, would you share your reading? And Gillian and Jean, I invite you to come back over here.
This is the benediction of Apaches. Now you will feel no rain, for each of you will be shelter to the other. Now you will feel no cold, for each of you will be warmth to the other. Now there is no more loneliness for you, for each of you will be companion to the other. Now you are 2 bodies, but there is only one life before you. Go now to your dwelling place to enter into the days of your togetherness, and may your days be good and long upon the earth.
So we now exchange vows. Gillian, Jean is a gift to you from God, but he's not a gift for you alone. It is God's will that in your love, this man might find within himself a greater sense of who he's meant to be. You're asked to see the good in this man, to accept him for who he is and who he shall be. In this way, God's purpose shall be accomplished in this relationship. And it's the same with you, Jean, that although Gillian is God's gift to you, she is not a gift intended for you alone. You're asked by God to so love this woman that your love, she might find herself as God created her, so beautiful and strong and brave and true that the entire world might be blessed by the presence of a woman who shines so brightly. May she know from now on that there is one whose love she can always depend on forever. So Gillian and Jean, as you stand in the presence of God, your family and friends, and your spiritual community, you have considered the holy covenant you have chosen to make. Would you now turn and face each other and pledge your vows to one another? Yes.
Jean, I love you. You are my best friend, my soulmate, playmate, and my teacher. I believe in you, and I promise to always see the highest and best in you. I will encourage you, inspire you, and laugh with you. For all the days of my life, I will cherish you, comfort you, and love you with my entire being through all the ups and downs that life has to offer. I'll dream with you, create with you, and celebrate with you, and I promise to be faithful, authentic, and kind. You are my sweetheart, my beloved, and my life, today and always. I am honored to become your wife.
Let's see if I can get through this. Gillian, everything I've experienced in my life has prepared me for this day. You see me for who I am and always encourage me to be the best version of myself. And for this, I love you deeply and profoundly. So today I stand here before you with my heart filled with God's love and commit to you these sacred vows. I promise to be your beloved husband, and I promise that I will never take our love for granted. I promise to always be your best friend and your greatest supporter. I promise to always respect your authenticity and encourage your creativity, because that is what makes you who you are. I promise to walk hand in hand with you wherever our souls take us. And as I join my life with yours, I promise to be true to you and true to myself, so that in oneness, our love can continue to grow stronger each and every day of our lives.
Truly beautiful. Kohler, do you have the rings?
He's eating the cupcakes.
Thank you. So Gillian, do you take Gene as your beloved husband? And do you commit before God to honor these vows that you just shared for all the days of your life? If so, will you now answer, I do?
I do.
Gene, do you take Gillian as your beloved wife, and do you commit to love and honor her and these vows all the days of your life? If so, would you answer now, I do?
I do.
And so we come to the presentation of rings which symbolize and bind your love. The circle has long been a symbol of spirit and the power of God. The sky and the earth are round, the sun and the moon are round, come forth and go down again in a circle. Even the seasons form a great cycle or circle. Without beginning or end and no point of weakness, the circle is a reminder of the eternal quality of God. Let the seamless circle of these rings become the symbol of your endless love and enduring and unending faithfulness. Your wedding rings are most special because they say that even in your uniqueness, you have chosen to allow the presence of another human being to enhance who you are. And as you wear them through time, they will reflect not only who you are, but also the glorious union that you are now creating. We ask that God bless these rings and the two who will exchange them. Fill them with your holy presence. Keep them safe in the circle of your protection and love. Jean, would you please place the ring on Gillian's finger and repeat after me? As this ring has no end, neither shall my love for you.
As this ring has no end, neither shall my love for you.
It's the humidity. Gillian, yeah. Would you place the ring on Jean's finger and repeat after me? As this ring has no end, neither shall my love for you.
Say it.
As this ring has no end, neither shall my love for you.
As this ring has no end, neither shall my love for you.
Wear these rings as the enclosing bond of reverence and trust. Fulfill the circle of love that now makes you one. I ask you to join me in this blessing that says, may the blessings of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide with you. May God's presence illuminate your heart and your love now and forevermore. Gillian and Jean, in the presence of God and your family and friends, you have spoken the vows which unite your lives in holy matrimony. It is my legal right as a minister and my greatest joy and privilege to declare you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride. It is my joy to introduce you for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Jean Donohue.
Hearts gone astray, deep in her when they go. I went away just when you needed me so. You won't regret, I'll come back begging you. Won't you forget, welcome love we once knew. Open up your eyes, then you'll realize, here I stand with my everlasting love. Need you by my side, girl, to be my bride, never be denied. Everlasting love, need you by my side, girl, to be my bride, never be denied. Everlasting love. Hearts gone astray, deep in her when they go. I went away just when you needed me so. Open up your eyes, then you'll realize, here I stand with my everlasting love. Need you by my side, girl, to be my bride, never be denied. Everlasting love, need you by my side, girl, to be my bride, never be denied. Everlasting love. Hearts gone astray, deep in her when they go. I went away just when you needed me so. Open up your eyes, then you'll realize, here I stand with my everlasting love. Need you by my side, girl, to be my bride, never be denied. Everlasting love from the very start. Open up your heart, feel you falling up. Everlasting love.